Hi everyone, I'm Ruaridh Macdonald and welcome back to a Scottish Forum on Nuclear Legacies, or SFNL. Today we're talking about the NDA and Scotland's civil and defence nuclear liabilities. The Nuclear Decommissioning Authority, or the NDA, was set up in 2004 under the Energy Act. Its job? Deal with the UK's civil nuclear legacy. The old power stations, reactors and waste facilities. Not defence, just civil. It's accountable to both the UK and Scottish governments, which makes it unique. No other arm's length body was set up quite like it. To understand how we got here, let's take a quick look at the timeline. The NDA was established as a civil nuclear authority under the Energy Act 2004. In 2011, the EU passed the Radioactive Waste Directive. This law required every member state, including UK and Scotland, to create national programs for managing waste safely. It also enforced early and effective public participation. That meant Euratom wasn't just a technical body. It was kind of international watchdog, making sure Scotland's policy lived up to European safety and transparency standards. In 2011, the Scottish Government published its Higher Activity Radioactive Waste Policy. It established the near surface, near site disposal as Scotland's policy. It explicitly excludes defence nuclear waste, applying the polluter pays principle. In other words, the MOD is responsible for managing and disposing of its own waste. In 2014, it was revealed that there was a radioactive leak at Vulcan in 2012. This event led to extra scrutiny of Vulcan with Scottish ministers. Then Cabinet Secretary Richard Lochhead warning the Scottish Parliament about the MOD's culture of secrecy and the lack of transparency around defence nuclear liability. In 2016, the Scottish Government publishes a Higher Activity Waste Implementation Strategy, which includes a near-surface disposal timeline and reaffirms the 2011 policy. Which means Scotland will not host a geological disposal facility and higher activity defence waste remain excluded. In 2020, the UK left the Euratom community, raising questions about the continuity of nuclear safety and the waste governance standards in Scotland and the wider UK. The NDA Framework Document 2021 sets out governance arrangements in relation to NDA's civil nuclear activities. It later transpired from a response to an FOI request that an MOU and joint project team between the MOD and the NDA was established in 2022. Later on, the MOD publishes annual reports and accounts, disclose over £9 billion in nuclear decommissioning liabilities, projected over 114 years with reliance on civil GDF delivery. In the summer of 2024, the NDA framework document was revised, with officials inserting a reference to civil defence cooperation. In March 2024, the MOD and Prime Minister published a new policy paper on the UK's Nuclear Deterrent, stating that the MOD's defence nuclear enterprise is currently in the process of transferring some legacy defence nuclear liabilities to the NDA. But here's the twist. Section 3.4 of the Energy Act 2004 makes it crystal clear the NDA cannot take on defence nuclear responsibilities. So how is that supposed to work? This video is coming out just as the NDA Draft Strategy 5 consultations closes. For the first time, that strategy includes defence nuclear liabilities, including reference to Vulcan in Scotland. In summer 2024, the NDA framework document was revised, and officials inserted a reference to civil defence cooperation. Our response to the NDA Draft Strategy is on SFNL website by the time this video is launched. We should be clear that our response isn't about attacking the NDA, it's about supporting them to continue with their mission to operate transparently and safely and reach out to new audiences in Scotland. We are also mindful that if the NDA's role expands, especially in Scotland, the big question is who pays for it. Most of the NDA's work is funded directly by taxpayers, but sites like Hunterston B and Torness are different. Their future cleanup costs are expected to come from the Nuclear Liabilities Fund. And that fund is topped up by electricity bills, so basically anyone who turns on a kettle has been chipping in. So yes, it gets complicated fast, which is why making sure there's enough funding is absolutely crucial. A quick word on where things are with the SFNL. I'm pleased to say our website and open forum are now live where people can share views. We will also try to expand our social media presence and create more user content with the resources we have. In just a couple of days, we had positive initial discussions with academics, local councillors and the NDA. We really appreciate the kind words of support. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and join the conversation at sfnl.scot.